Hello there everyone, welcome to my channel. My name's English Bob, brand new to this streaming stuff. Hoping to stream some nice and relaxed gaming sessions. And to start with, I picked a really old adventure game from the mid to late 90s. Broken Sword, Shadow of the Templars. It's a really nice adventure game, so we're gonna start a new playthrough right now. So let's just jump right in.
Paris, city of love, romance and dreams. So they say. I used to say it too, but ever since that day, the day of the murder, I've always associated my beloved Paris with death.
Oh, here we go. Nostalgia's flooding back already. Used to love this game. So yeah, I think this is the direct cut version of the game, so I think it'll start a bit differently to the version I remember. So bear with me. Might be a bit different than I remember. Here we go.
I was at home having a bath when my editor called.
Collard, get your ass over to the Palais Royal now. You got an interview. With Pierre Carchon. Yes, the Pierre Carchon. No photos, so leave your gear at home. He asked for you personally. Don't ask me why. Anyhow, this could be big, so if he makes a pass, don't forget. Just smile, say yes, and keep taking notes.
So charming and so very apt. Pierre Carchon was a media king, a national hero, and one of the most infamous adulterers in Europe. He and his wife Imelda were just one step down from royalty. Whoa, I hate mimes, but unless you humor them, they don't go away. Here I was,
Creepy.
the palace of the media king and the ice queen. I pressed the doorbell and set in motion a chain of events which would change my life forever.
Yes? What is it?
Madame, my name is Nico Collard. I'm here to see Monsieur Carchon.
Come up, we're on the first floor.
Madame Carchon, it's a pleasure to meet you.
Yes, I'm sure.
The Ice Queen was certainly living up to her reputation. Will you be staying for the interview?
Mademoiselle, I know little of my husband's business affairs, and I care even less. I certainly have no intention of watching him pore over yet another pretty little journalist.
Pretty? You're too kind, madame.
Ah, the talented and very beautiful Mademoiselle Collard. Such a pleasure to meet you at last.
Monsieur Carchon, I am honored.
Oh, I'm sure you are.
Call me Pierre, please. But I do not flatter you idly. I was a friend of your father. He was a great man.
My father, he never mentioned.
He and I were very close. And then his death. So tragic. I must... Imelda, your damned cat's in my study again. Another Ming vase, I suppose. Excuse me for one moment, my dear girl.
You journalists are getting younger each year.
Perhaps it's the rest of the world getting older, madame. That was no cat. My God, what? Monsieur Carchon!
Whoa!
He's dead. I must call the police. You'd better stay here.
There was a man. It was the mime. Do you think he...
Well, I believe we can rule out suicide, don't you?
No wonder they called her the Ice Queen. She would have been top of my list of suspects if I hadn't seen the attacker myself. And if I hadn't come across a couple of murders just like this already. One of the most important men in Europe murdered. And here was I, Nico Coulard, alone at the scene of the crime. Should I wait for the cops? Or start my own investigation? It was a no-brainer.
Okay, that was definitely different to the start of the game I remember. So let's have a look. Okay, I think I remember these. Briefcase icon is the inventory. Diary, oh that's new. Puzzle hints. Hints? We don't need any hints. We didn't have any hints back in the 90s when I played this. Yeah, let's just carry on. Okay, so we're Nico Collard, a French journalist, and she was supposed to have an interview with this guy. Did they say he was the president of France? I wasn't paying much attention to the start. Sorry, guys. Okay, let's have a look around this room then. So he's been shot. Okay.
Mimes and guns don't usually go together, but I had an idea that this was no ordinary mime. I'd come across this murderer before and written about him. The costume killer, at least that's what I'd called him.
So of course we we don't wait for the police to arrive in these adventure games. We just jump right in and have a look. Ooh, what's that? Hair clip?
It was one of my hair clips. My favorite, in fact. It must have fallen when I was knocked down.
Okay, let's have a look.
His
at the
lifeless eyes stared blankly at nothing. I closed his eyes.
guy. Yeah, let's close
It was the
those
least
eyes.
I could do for the poor fellow.
Let's rifle through
Some
his
people
pockets.
hate
of
searching
course.
corpses for clues. Me, I'm okay with it. Reminds me of an old boyfriend.
Oh, lovely.
Carchon had been shot.
Yeah, I think we knew that. Oh, what's that?
In his pocket, I found a ticket stamped Bateau de la Conciergerie. Taking the ticket meant I tampered with the evidence. There
Oh,
was
great.
no going back now.
Yep, so we've just tampered with evidence. Brilliant. Oh, to use an inventory item. Okay.
It was a boat ticket stamped Bateau de la Conciergerie. When
Bateau
I was a
de-
little girl, Papa used to take me on the Bateau Mouche as a treat.
Okay. Let's see what else we can find in this room. Books.
The bookcase was filled with obscure first editions.
Okay. Can't click those things on the table. Statue.
A bust of Pierre Carchon, humble servant of La France.
So that's the dead guy down there. Let's have a look at the window.
You had to end it to the Ice Queen. She sure knew her fabrics.
Oh, okay, we're looking at the curtains. Can we go out there?
A small round piece of glass had been cut out of the pane. This was a professional job. Your original 18th century high security window handle. This was the work of the mime. Unless the cat was in on it too.
Can we open the door?
I didn't want to cut myself and leave blood on the glass. Call me old-fashioned, but I like to keep my DNA to myself.
Oh, okay. It's just outside then. Whoa,
The
don't
killer
fall off.
must have used a ladder to reach the window. He was long gone. Guess he folded that ladder up, popped it in his pocket and took it with him.
Oh, okay, that's that then. Let's go in the other room.
The police could turn up at any minute. Somewhere there were clues to the murder, and I needed to find them. A medieval pageant. Original, no doubt. The tapestry must have cost a fortune.
What's on the table?
A Louis XIV's table with an antique cloth. Imelda had taste. But hey, with a husband that rich, taste is easy.
Piece of paper. Oh, it's a cloth.
A beautiful cloth had been draped over the table. It was embroidered with an unusual cross. I reckoned
that
that
up.
cloth might just turn out to be useful.
Like all adventure games, we're a bit of a kleptomaniac.
There was a tiny hole in the tabletop. Part of the inlay had been chipped away. Even my fingernail wouldn't fit into such a small hole.
Should we try the hair clip?
Aha!
Of
Nico.
course.
You are just so damn good at this stuff.
So what's
A
this?
key had been hidden in a secret compartment. A modern key. Instead of comforting Imelda, I was ransacking her flat. Why? Because there was something going on here, and I had to get answers before the cops arrived. And hey, she'd been rude to me, so she had it coming.
Yoink. How do I close this? Oh, there we go. Right, what else is there? Oh, there she is.
Imelda had talent, but I certainly wasn't going to tell her that.
What's this?
It was a tube of acrylic paint. French ultramarine.
Let's take the paint.
Just the colour I was after for my bathroom.
I'm sorry, I have to go. Someone is...
Oh,
Young lady, what are you doing?
stealing
this
all your
paint.
stuff.
It's my favourite colour.
For God's sake, keep the damn stuff.
Oh, thank you. Sorry about your husband dying and everything.
Imelda looked shocked, but still every bit as hostile.
Okay, let's have a quick chat.
Excuse me, madame.
Yes?
Remember this system. So you have topics of conversation at the top and things in your inventory that you can talk about in the bottom bit of the screen. So we'll talk about the dead husband.
I am so sorry for your loss, madame.
No, you're not. You're a journalist. Journalists don't feel sorry.
Not true.
We shall see.
Why did your husband send for me? What did he want to discuss?
I have no idea. His business was his business.
He never told you anything.
No, and frankly, I preferred it that way.
Okay. So who's this?
How did your husband know
Oh,
my
that's her dad.
father?
I have no idea.
You didn't know him? Thierry Coulard?
Pierre knew a lot of people I didn't know, most of them women.
Let's talk about the killer mime then.
Why would a mime want to kill your husband?
Pierre had plenty of enemies. Half the husbands in Paris for a start. This is quite a scoop for you. I suppose you're already inventing the headlines.
Just because I am a journalist.
Don't patronize me. You're all cut from the same cloth. Do you have any moral sense at all?
Of course I do. What kind of question's that?
Yes, that's why I do this job.
You do it to see your name in print.
As if my editor gets the byline, I just do the work.
Well, don't expect my sympathy.
The police will be here soon, madame. Is there anybody you would like me to contact? Family, friends?
No, I have no family. Pierre and I were... He was all I had, really. Not much, was it? The dutiful wife. That was my role. He never talked, never let me in.
I know one thing, madame.
What?
If you want to find out who killed your husband, then you let me do the job, not the police.
Why? How do I know I can trust you?
Your husband invited me here today because he needed me. I think he knew somebody wanted to kill him, and he knew I could help.
I doubt it was your database he was after.
You're wrong. I was onto his killers already, I am sure of it. Please, you owe it to him.
I don't know.
All I need is a few more minutes to look around before the police come.
You really do have a moral sense, don't you? I trust so few people. And perhaps Pierre really did think that you could help. Of course it wouldn't have stopped him seducing you too. Here, take this. It's the key to the drawing room next to the library at the end of the hall. It was Pierre's room. I rarely went in there. I couldn't. I was too scared of what I might find.
Thank you. I promise you won't regret this.
Okay. Oh, let's have a look at the diary. I forgot to look at this. Pierre. Oh, he wasn't the president of France. He was a media tycoon. Need to pay more attention, don't I? Okay. So yeah, we've got to investigate this murder rather than leave it to the police. Okay. Let's get started then.
I thought of leaving, but was sure there was more to find.
That's the exit. Whoops. Where did you say to go? The drawing room at the end of the hall? Okay. That one?
The door was locked.
Key?
A modern key on an antique door. It wasn't going to work.
Oh, already been in here. Oh, she gives the key. Ugh, I'm so stupid.
Now we were getting somewhere.
Okay, drawing room. Okay.
Even the light switch looked impressive.
Turn the lights on?
I didn't need the lights on.
No.
It was light enough already.
Let's have a look at that picture.
The painting showed the Cachons together, in love. As the poet said, the past is a different country. Or did I read that in a fortune cookie?
Okay, there's a button on the picture.
There was the very faintest of clicks.
Yeah, what did that do?
The sofa was antique. For one horrible moment, I had an image of a naked Cachon wriggling around on it with a young journalist. Oh,
Ugh.
this wasn't the time for me to lie on this sofa doing my Marie Antoinette impression. Though it is very popular at parties, especially with gay guys. Don't ask me why.